I feel like it's me. Like, I feel like it fits me. Like, it's Jasmine. Like, this is all I needed in my whole life. Like, I just should have came out the womb with Sisterlocks. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Today, I'm talking to you about all you need to know about Sisterlocks before you get Sisterlocks. I'm giving you 10 whole things that you should know about getting Sisterlocks before you get Sisterlocks. The first thing is the costings. The costings. That equals cost and maintenance. That's what that vocabulary word means. But no, basically the cost and the maintenance. So you do want to know how much are you going to be paying for the initial pay, and then you also want to know the maintenance. How often are you going to be needing to go, which is typically between 4 to 6 or 7 weeks, but it does depend on your hair. Some people don't need to go as often as other people, but you do want to make sure that you allocate at least one time out the month that you can go get your hair retightened, or if you're doing it yourself, where you have time to retighten your whole head, because it can take, depending on your hair, when you first start off, like if you're my length, it takes her no more than 2 hours. If you have longer hair when you start out, then of course it'll be a longer period of time. But to me, the initial cost is going to be expensive, especially if your hair is 6 inches or more. So if you passing the shoulder length, then you pay shoulder length money. So be prepared to put that down on the hair, but after that, it is not bad. It's usually on average $125, depending on how long you go without getting it retightened. But it's usually $125 on a monthly basis, and that's for the rest of your life, and you're straight, you know. So like I said in previous videos, that's a lot cheaper than what you're gonna pay for new wigs, braids, and weave probably every, you know, month probably. But it depends on braids. Braids do last longer. So these are also questions that I had before I first got Sisterlocks. So you also want to know, like, how long does it typically take, you know, for them to install the Sisterlocks, and also how long does it take, will it take for my hair to lock? Because I guess my biggest concern was, like, what if I don't like them? Can they be taken out? And of course they can be taken out, but it'll take a long time for you to get them out. As tiny as they are, it's definitely gonna take some days. Like, I feel like it could just be just as long as it took to put them in to take them out. It might be longer though. I feel like once you make this decision, just make sure, you know, of course you might not like it, but it's a permanent decision. Just stick with it, and you're gonna grow through each stage. Is gonna be different, so you're not gonna start out feeling like you looking thebomb.com, because I didn't feel that way either. But I feel like it's just a journey that is like any other hair journey. When you're trying to grow it, it's just time and patience and maintenance. So yeah, I like how that rhymed. So also another thing that I have come to learn about Sisterlocks, and that I noticed, was everybody's journey is different. So my locks are not going to look like, say, my aunt's locks or my friend's locks. They're just going to be completely, because we all have different grades of hair, and our hair is going to react different to the lock. Some people's ends may be curlier. Some people, if they have perm, their ends are going to be straight. You know, it's just, everybody's is different. Some people's hair might drop sooner, and some people's might stay like how mine is, which is just kind of short and it's shrinkage. Just like any other hair journey, like I was saying before, you just want to make sure you're not comparing it, because then you'll end up being like, oh man, it's not what I wanted it to be. But you just literally have to embrace each step every single month, and then you'll fall in love with it. Something else is basically make time for the installation process. Like I said, it can be 2 to 3 days. Some people longer than that, who have a whole bunch of hair, whole bunch of hair. Like I said, mine took about 17 to 19 hours, I think it was. So I did basically a whole day, came back and did a couple more hours, and then I was finished. And again, my hair was pretty much 6 inches on average for my whole head. But you can go check out, it might be here or it might be here, my Sisterlock installation video and see all about that. Also, another question that I had and that you might want to know is, can it damage your hair? Because you're like, okay, I'm trying to make this transition and I don't want anything negative, if possible, to occur to my hair. And to me, the only way it can be damaged is if you don't take care of it at all. So, you know, any questions that you have, you know, you should definitely research. That's all that I did for probably 3 or 4 months before I made the decision to actually get it locked, because I was really back and forth. It can get damaged, but that's just like any other hairstyle. If you wear too many wigs, or you're not letting your hair breathe at all, then that's probably going to damage your hair. So same, if I'm just going to sleep, waking up, letting my hair rub on the pillow, like with locks, and letting them get lint all in them and not really trying to make sure that my scalp is good to go, then, you know, it will get damaged. So it's something that you do have to be attentive to. I think some people mistakenly think, which is what I thought, you could just wake up and go, which you can when it comes to styling, but you do want to still, like, you have to, you know, spritz it with water, do the band, is it band and wash? The wash and band method. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, you have to still be careful in the beginning stages as well. You don't want to just color it. Like, you still have to make sure you're getting it tightened. It definitely could get damaged if you say, I'm gonna go 9-10 weeks without, outside of COVID, because I know some people couldn't help that, but I'm gonna go 9-10 weeks without getting it retightened. Yeah, no, you definitely don't want to do that, because that for sure can damage your hair and be hanging down here and it need to be retightened. You have to really be careful, just like any other hairstyle. Another thing is, you do want to make sure that you find a knowledgeable lock consultant. So whenever you do go and you're researching different people to go to, I think it's best if you know somebody who has Sisterlocks or any kind of locks, to figure out, maybe by word of mouth, someone that you know that you can go to also, because, you know, if you're like their locks, then they probably do a decent job on yours as well. And then that, I think that leads to, like, you want to know as well about care for lock in between appointments. So that loctician, if she's knowledgeable, should be able to give you some more information, like, hey, I work out, how is that gonna relate? Any questions that you have, you should definitely actually write them down, unless you can remember them, when you go to your first consultation, so that you can get all the answers that you need before you make that decision. Because I think it's just not, to me, this is not a decision that you just wake up and impulsively make. I mean, I'm sure somebody has, but I had more questions before I'm like, okay, I'm about to lock my hair for the rest of my life. This is a rest of my life decision. What questions do I have? And even if you, I mean, it's not free to get consultations, but it's usually, in Georgia, I've seen, it depends, because sometimes they'll put that money towards your actual getting it locked, but consultations aren't free. But I would say, if you can, you know, maybe try 1 or 2 and say, okay, well, I kind of liked her better, let me go to her. But I think that's something that, if I could do, I would have done. I would have went to, instead of just going on one, which I researched on Instagram over and over and over, I probably would have went to 1 more, just to kind of have an option and see which one I want to go to. But I do like how she locked my hair, and I think she did a great job. It's just to give you options. Ask questions from anything about slippage to dryness or shampoo. Tell them about your hair. They should be knowledgeable to know, like, oh, okay, this is the type of point rotation that you need. This is the type of, you know, this is what the lock probably is going to look like. Oh, for you, you know, we need to do 2-point, or we need 3-point. That's something that they should know. And you also want to know what kind of tool do they use, you know, that kind of stuff. And they should be very welcoming and not minding any questions that you have. So if you feel uncomfortable or feeling like they're like, she asking too much or she doing too much, I wouldn't go to that person. You want somebody that's like more than happy to answer any questions that you have about the journey. Another thing that I learned about Sisterlocks that you probably want to know is, it really can boost your confidence. Like, if you're not content with the way that your hair is right now, and you just like, because that's how I was just like, I'm like, people always tell me they love my natural hair, like, it's just so pretty, the curl pattern, and I'll just be like, no, you don't understand. Like, I'm tired of having a good natural hair day once every 2 weeks. Like, I'm not feeling, and I don't want to wake up and juice it up every single day. I don't want to have to do my hair every 2 to 3 days because the twist outs is over, like it don't last that long. Maybe I was doing it wrong, but just the type of hair that I had, you know. So it really boosted my confidence. It made me feel a lot 10,000 times better. You can ask my friends, my husband, and they would always be like, you just gotta learn to love your hair. And since I can remember, I just never, when I say never, I had good hair days, like I said in my previous videos, like it was decent, but I feel better waking up like, okay, all I gotta do is put some water. And it's not even that it's just easy, it's the fact that I feel like it's me. Like I feel like it fits me, like it's Jasmine. Like this is all I needed in my whole life. Like I just should have came out the womb with Sisterlocks. No, I'm just kidding. But really, like it just makes you feel like, wow, I finally found out. So probably people who like, what can I do? People who like wigs and like braids or whatever it may be, or a certain color that you like, this is me. Like this is what I was supposed to be. This is who I'm supposed to look like. I feel confident. I love myself. I love my hair looking like this, you know, because when I say your hair is 90% of your confidence, for me it is. I won't say it because it's on the inside too. Like it's not just physical. But if your hair is done, your nails, excuse my nails, but your nails and your toes is done, honey, nobody can tell you anything. So it just plays a major role, you know, in how you feel about yourself. That's most of the things you need to know about having Sisterlocks before you get Sisterlocks. Or if you already have them and you're watching this video, go ahead and comment below if some of these things were true for you, or if you had some of these questions before you got Sisterlocks as well. But I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next. Oh, don't forget, if you're still here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that like button, and comment below when you got your Sisterlocks, if you're thinking about getting Sisterlocks, and if this video was helpful. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.